Hey everyone, it's Shauna the Tax Goddess and Chief Tax Strategist for TaxGoddess.com, StrategicTaxCoach.com, and DropMyTaxes.com. I am super thrilled to be here with this very handsome man today, Mr. Fred Kroin, on our channel Tax Strategies That Save Entrepreneurs Thousands Each Year. Here we are dedicated to helping business owners, self-employed people, and all those other crazy, passionate solopreneurs, absolutely all the business owners, reduce their tax burdens in all the legal ways possible. And we are thrilled to bring you Mr. Fred Kroin, the Executionist. So excited. So excited. So let's jump right in. Fred, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, first to clarify, I don't kill people. I help companies execute better, whether they're solo entrepreneurs or running large companies with management teams. But, on that note, as you and I have talked before, one of the things that companies in general don't do well is they don't set goals well. They have a vision of where they want to be, but they don't have a process behind it. Their goals tend to be kind of motherhoody. I want to I want to own this market, or I want to increase my revenue, or I want to be more profitable, or I want more time off, or who knows. So one of the things that would be good for us to talk about is the concept of SMART goals.
SMART goals.
What are SMART goals? SMART is very simply a 5-letter acronym, SMART, that will help people to know whether they're setting good goals or not.
Dig it.
And in the interest of time, why don't I just kind of quickly go through them? I know you know them, so maybe I'll quiz you along the way.
Oh.
But the S fairly simply stands for specific.
Okay.
They must be not nebulous or motherhoody. They must be very directed to accomplishing something exact and precise, and M is for measurable.
Okay.
So you have to make sure that you've got a metric or a KPI, a key performance indicator in some terminology, that you can use to know whether you're successful or not with your goal. The A covers several. Attainable, first of all, or achievable. You don't want to, I believe in stretch goals,
okay,
but I don't, and I'm a firm believer that it's okay to miss a goal as long as you make more than you don't. So the good news about a stretch goal is that very often it will encourage you to succeed beyond your wildest imagination. I've had numbers of clients who set a goal and found out they can keep pushing it up and pushing it up when they never imagined they could. So attainable and achievable is the A of SMART. The last two, frankly, are almost as important, maybe more important than the first three.
Okay.
The R is the one that most people stumble on, because people say realistic. Well, that kind of falls under the achievable, attainable for me. So I've changed the R to relevant. And you may ask, as most people do, relevant to what, Fred? And that kind of ties back to really where my process always starts, with a strategic plan. My goal for every strategic plan is that the business owner or the management team, together with the business owner, define 5 to 7 key objectives for the year. What are the big rocks that they want to get done this year? But again, specific, measurable, achievable, and I want goals to be relevant to those big 5 to 7 things that you put down back, hopefully in the fourth quarter of the previous year. Those are the things you want to get done. The individual goals and actions you take are covered by the SMART goals, where the R is relevant to one of the 5.
Okay.
If you're taking an action step or setting a goal, and it's not related to one of the biggies,
why are you doing it?
Why are you doing it? Right. It's consuming time that is probably your most critical commodity, as we'll talk about some other time. And the last one, as I say, really important is, is
time. It's got to be time bound.
it's got to be time bound, because a goal without a deadline is, in my opinion, a wish, because it gets put on the calendar whenever you feel like, whenever you have time, whenever you don't have anything better to do. These goals tend to be not necessarily things that you're chomping at the bit to do. You'd like them just to blink your eyes and get them done. It's doing that's the hard part. That's why having an executionist around to kind of give you a little fire under your toes or boot in the pants is important. So time bound. Don't let your goals become wishes. Make sure you've got deadlines on them. And then, of course, it becomes the whole issue of how do you make sure you're getting them done and holding each other accountable or yourself accountable to getting them done. So that's SMART goals. And if you pick a goal for yourself, make sure it follows those 5 acronym letters. Okay?
Love it. Thank you, Fred. As usual, you are a wealth of knowledge. Absolutely love having Fred here with us today. So if this is your first time listeners out there with us today, make sure that you click the subscribe button and you hit the little bell icon, because there's going to be more of Fred coming and lots of other fantastic professionals with great advice for you as business owners, as entrepreneurs, crazy self-employed people out there. So thank you so much for joining us today. And Fred, thank you so much for being our guest.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's a great opportunity for me, and we've worked together for a long time, and you're sort of one of my poster children of how to do things.
Oh, gracious! All right, y'all heard that, and that came from the lips of the Night Slayer over here, the Dragon Slayer. So, absolutely in love with it. So, guys out there, remember to share the love with other business owners. Feel free to share the channel, Tax Strategies That Save Entrepreneurs Thousands Each Year. This may not be saving you actual money right now today, but if you aren't planning good goals, if you aren't planning SMART goals, you're going to lose money. You're going to go in the wrong direction. You're going to be in deep trouble. So this is one of those little tiny factors that actually turns into a really big factor. So if you want to join, or if you want to save even more money, if you want to find other strategies, join our Facebook group. We might maybe be able to convince Fred to get there, but maybe not. We'll figure it out. So feel free to post questions in the Facebook group, and worst case scenario, we'll get them to Fred so we can get you some answers. So Tax Strategies That Save Entrepreneurs Thousands. Thanks for joining us today. And Fred, thanks so much for being an amazing guest.
My pleasure. Nice to see you as always, Shauna. Take care.